This video tutorial is going to take you through the creation of this hybrid layout. I'm not going to show you the actual paper scrapbooking part, just all of the digital parts that I do on the computer. And in order to create this layout, I used my new text path collection, which is available at scrapbookgraphics.com. Okay, I'm going to start with this template. And the first thing I'm going to do is duplicate this because I don't want to overwrite my original file. So I'm going to come up here to Image, Duplicate, and then I can just type in a name for my new file. Now I've got both of my layers selected. I've got my shape layer and my journaling layer, and I'm going to resize them because I want my page to be a little bit smaller. So with both of them selected, which I can do by selecting one, holding down the Control key and selecting the second, and then pressing Control T or Command T on a Mac, and that will bring up my transform dialog. And all I'm going to do is hold down the Shift and the Alt key so that it transforms evenly and doesn't distort the shape, and just kind of bring it in a little bit. So I'm just making it a little bit smaller for my layout. And when I'm done, I can just press the checkbox. Okay, now that it's transformed, I can just go ahead and start typing in my journaling. So if I double click on the T in the layers palette, you can see that it highlights all the journaling. So now if I start typing, it just keeps going along that path. So I've actually got my journaling over here in Notepad. I'm just going to copy it all and paste it in. Okay. Now if you look, you can see it ends right here, and all my journaling isn't in my area. So I'm going to select it all and pick a different font. I don't want to use this Century Gothic font. Let's say I want to use, I don't know, this one. And now I need to resize it so that it will fit the area. So maybe I'll try 14. It's almost there. I'll try 13. And 13 looks like it was just perfect. So I'm going to click check. And all my journaling is there on my path. Okay, now I need to think about putting the rest of my layout together. So to do that, I'm going to turn my grid lines on so that I can see my center mark. And I'm going to draw a circle in the middle. So I'm going to select my shape. I've got circle selected up here. I'm going to say draw a circle from the center. And I'm just going to pick a black color for now. So I'm going to start a new layer. And then I'm just going to draw out my circle from the center. Okay, and I drew it as a path, so let me just go fill in my path really quick. So I'm going to Control click on my circle, and that will put some marching ants around here. And now I'm going to hit Alt S, and then hit, which brings up my select menu, and then hit M for modify, and then C for contract. And I'm going to type in 30 right there, and that's going to contract it by 30 pixels. Just going to click my new icon actually. I'm going to pick a different color, and I'm going to hit Alt Backspace to fill in my circle with white. Okay, and now with my selection still highlighted, I am going to come over here and press M for marquee to bring up my marquee tool, and I'm going to make sure that the fourth icon is selected, and this is the intersect icon. So I'm going to turn on my grid one more time and then just kind of draw out an area where I want my picture to be. So something like that. And this is, I'm going to make a mask right here for my picture. So I'm going to just select another color, select another layer, and hit paste. Okay, I'm going to Control D for deselect. And now I'm going to select my circle again, and I'm going to actually create two more little template pieces down here. So I've still got my marquee tool, and I drew an intersect, and I'm going to have this be a template for a little piece of paper. So I'm going to hit Control Shift N, Alt Backspace to fill that in, and then I'm going to do the same thing again for the top. Control Shift N, Alt Backspace to fill that in. And now I don't actually want this white piece. That was just to get a little area defined. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So what I want to do is take my picture and put it inside this middle area. So to do that, I'm going to hit my V key, select the middle area, and then just drag my picture in, holding down the Shift key. Okay, now that my picture's in, let me turn off the grids again. Okay, I'm gonna hit Control T and just drag my picture in to make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm just gonna come up to Layer, Create Clipping Mask. And now my picture is clipped to that mask. So I guess I'm ready to start printing. To start, I'm going to print this picture. So I'm gonna merge these two layers together by selecting both of them and pressing Control E. And then I'm gonna create a new document, File, New, that is just roughly, I don't know, let's say 7.5 by 9.5, just something that'll fit on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And now I'm just going to drag my picture into this new document. The reason I'm printing the picture like this is because I only have 8.5 by 11 photo paper. I don't have 12 by 12 photo paper. So I need to print this on 8.5 by 11 paper. So I'm just dragging it over here and pressing Shift when I let go, which will center it. You can see this doesn't quite fit. So all I'm going to do is hit Control T and then rotate it 90 degrees. And now I can print it out really quick. So I would say File, Print. And when I go Page Setup, I just want to make sure that I select Premium Glossy Photo Paper and that I have Quality selected here in Color. And say OK, and I can just go ahead and say print. I'm going to cancel that now. So our picture's done, so I'm going to delete it and get it out of the way. All right, now I'm going to deal with printing the journaling and these templates. Okay, so I want these pieces of paper to not interfere with my outer ones, so I'm just going to grab them and kind of drag them into the middle a little bit so that I can cut them out easily. Drag it in the middle. And I don't actually want to print that solid gray either. I just want an outline of the shape. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set their fill all the way down to 0. And the same thing on this one. But now all I need to do is kind of double click off in this area to get my layer style options. And I'm just going to say stroke. And I want this to be kind of like a gray color so that I can just barely see it. And I only want 1 pixel, and I'm going to stay on the outside. I'm going to click OK. So you can kind of see the faint little gray outline it made there. So I'm going to do the same thing with my other one. I can actually just take this layer style, copy it, and paste it. I know that was out of your view. Sorry about that. And now I actually want to do the same thing with this mask because I don't want to print the solid mask like that. I just want to print the outline of it. So I'm going to go ahead and paste my layer style on that one as well. And you can see now what I have is my journaling with my outline. All right, so now what I'm going to do is actually just crop out some of this dead space, and that'll just let me print it without my printer complaining that, you know, something's out of the margins or something. So I hit Alt-I-P to crop it. And there we go. Now I can print this. So I'm going to go up to File, Print. And this time when I go to Page Setup, I'm going to change this because I'm printing this on cardstock to Matte Paper Heavyweight. And I'm going to change my paper to 12 by 12, which is one of my user defines. And now you can see it will all fit on my piece of paper. And I don't need to worry about it scaling. So we don't want it to scale at all. So you want to make sure this scale to fit media box is not checked. And now I just print this and I'm all done. I can cut and assemble my layout. Okay, and this is what it looks like once I have everything printed out. And I just wanted to show you that this particular paper I printed the journaling and the paper templates on is double-sided. And here's all the pieces cut out. And there's our finished layout.